Most people choose their house paint based on style, trends, or what looks good in a catalog. But what if the color you picked, the one you see every day, was quietly working against you? Not in a spooky, superstitious way, but in a real, subtle energy sense that affects how you feel, how you think, and yes, even how luck seems to move in or out of your life. There are certain colors, 7 to be exact, that have been shown to block energy flow in a home. They can weigh you down emotionally, lower your motivation, and shift the atmosphere in ways that make everything feel just a little harder. Relationships, money, focus, even sleep. This video isn't about fear, it's about awareness. We're going to talk about 7 common wall colors that might be making your space feel off without you realizing it. Not because the colors are ugly, they're often beautiful, sleek, and modern. But because when overused or placed in the wrong room, they change how your home supports you. And when your home doesn't support you, everything else starts to feel like an uphill climb. If you've been feeling stuck, tired, or like good luck just slips through your fingers lately, it might be worth taking a second look at what's covering your walls. Color influences more than we think, not magically, but practically. Let's explore how to make your space feel lighter, clearer, and more aligned with the life you want to live. Because small choices, like paint, can have a surprisingly big impact when it comes to how we live, feel, and grow. Part 1: Colors that hold life back. You ever walk into a room and feel something heavy, but nothing's out of place? The furniture is clean, the light's coming in, and yet the air feels stale, like the day never really starts in there. That feeling might not be in your head, it might be in your walls. The truth is, color has more power than we give it credit for. Not in an artistic way, but in the way it shapes how energy moves through your home. Some colors naturally lift the room. Others, no matter how stylish, seem to pause life instead of pushing it forward. And if you've been wondering why everything feels a little stuck lately, it may have less to do with what's missing and more to do with what's covering your walls. Let's start with deep black. Sleek, elegant, modern. It's been all over design magazines for the last few years, especially in accent walls and minimalist homes. But here's the thing, black doesn't give back. It absorbs. It swallows light, movement, even mood. A room painted in deep black might look bold, but living in it long-term can feel like walking around with a wet coat on your spirit. You may find yourself more withdrawn, less motivated, even emotionally disconnected. People often think they're just tired or introverted, but sometimes it's the energy in the space that's pulling you inward and down. Black isn't evil, but it's heavy. And in a home where you need rest and renewal, too much black can start to feel like living in a shadow you can't shake. Especially if it's in a bedroom, home office, or family space, places where connection, clarity, and emotional energy are needed most. Now take pale white. Not the clean, crisp white that reflects daylight and makes a room feel fresh, but that dull, flat white that almost fades into the background. At first glance, it looks clean, neutral, safe, but spend enough time in a room painted pale white and it starts to feel cold. Not in temperature, but in tone. It's the kind of white that doesn't speak back. The kind that makes a home feel like a waiting room. It doesn't hold warmth, doesn't energize, doesn't encourage conversation or creativity. Instead, it creates distance. People living in these rooms often feel low energy without knowing why. Kids get quieter. Adults get tired faster. Focus drops. And it's not about psychology, it's just about how the space responds to you. In American homes, white is often used to keep things simple, clean, or bright. But brightness isn't about color, it's about life. Pale white takes more than it gives, and when used too much, especially without texture or contrast, it can quietly erase the sense of joy in a space. Then there's ash gray. A favorite in modern home design for its cool, neutral, calming vibe. And yes, it looks beautiful in photos, but life isn't lived in still shots. Gray, especially that soft, dusty ash tone, has a quiet numbing effect. Not immediately, but over time. It neutralizes everything, energy, movement, even conversation. People often say they like gray because it's peaceful, but what they sometimes mean is, I don't feel anything. In the right dose, gray can be grounding, but when it becomes the dominant tone in a space, it begins to flatten out emotional range. It becomes harder to get excited, to be spontaneous, to even finish what you start. You get home, sit down, and instead of recharging, you drift, and not in a relaxing way. Ash gray, when overused, creates an environment where everything feels paused, like time's still moving, but your spirit isn't following. Families in gray-heavy homes sometimes notice they talk less. Kids close their doors more often. Partners pass each other like ships instead of sharing the same current. Not because of problems between them, but because the space no longer invites togetherness. Gray walls don't argue, but they don't cheer you on either. What these colors have in common is not that they are bad. It's that they are unbalanced. In design, they're often celebrated for their elegance and neutrality. But in daily living, they can lead to stagnation, not because of some spiritual curse, but because our environment constantly shapes the rhythms of our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. You don't need to throw paint buckets around tomorrow morning, but maybe ask yourself, which room in your home feels like it stopped growing? Which space feels like it's quietly pulling your energy down instead of lifting it up? Which walls have held the same color for years, not because you love it, but because you got used to it? That quiet heaviness you feel when you walk into certain rooms, it has a source. And sometimes it's not the clutter or the lighting or the layout. It's the tone on the walls. Deep black can trap you in. Pale white can push you away. Ash gray can make you stop moving. These colors aren't enemies. They're just overused in places where life needs more breath, more heat, more movement. And if you've been feeling like your home is clean but cold, comfortable but uninspiring, safe but too quiet, this may be the reason. Homes should feel alive, not perfect but responsive. They should give back energy after a long day, not silently drain it. And paint, the easiest thing to change, can be the most powerful first step. Maybe your home doesn't need more furniture. Maybe it just needs colors that hold light instead of swallowing it. Colors that warm instead of cooling everything down. Colors that make you want to sit, talk, rest, and dream, not just exist. Because in the end, your walls don't just reflect who you are, they shape who you become. Part 2: colors that stir too much heat. Not all stuck energy feels heavy. Sometimes it feels loud. Not the kind of loud you hear, but the kind that presses into your chest when you're just trying to rest. Some homes don't feel slow, they feel tight, like there's always something buzzing underneath the surface. The kids argue more, you can't sleep deeply. Your partner snaps at things that didn't used to matter. Maybe you've told yourself it's just stress, hormones, a rough patch, and maybe that's true. But sometimes the walls themselves are holding too much fire and it's burning through the piece you didn't realize was already fragile. Bright red is one of the most emotionally charged colors you can put on your walls. It's passionate, bold, alive, but also volatile. In fashion, red is confidence. In marketing, red is action. But in a home, especially when it takes up large spaces, red doesn't calm, it accelerates. It raises heart rates, increases irritability, and overstimulates the nervous system. That means more impulsive reactions, less patience, more talking over each other, and less listening. A red dining room might make you eat faster. A red bedroom might make it harder to fall asleep. A red living room might make it feel like no one ever truly relaxes there, because red doesn't invite stillness. It pushes energy up and out. It makes everything feel a little more urgent than it needs to be. In small doses, red can be beautiful, an accent pillow, a vase, a piece of art. But when it becomes the main color, especially on walls or ceilings, it often tips from invigorating to agitating. You might not notice it immediately. You'll just feel like there's always something to do, something to fix, something to respond to. And when life already feels busy, that underlying heat adds pressure that doesn't have anywhere to go. Over time, that pressure shows up in your health, your sleep, your relationships, and your ability to make clear, steady decisions, especially around money. Because wealth doesn't grow in chaos. It grows where there's clarity, calm, and consistent energy. Then there's deep blue. Now this one surprises people. Blue is peaceful, right? Serene, oceanic, it's the color of calm skies and deep lakes. But go too deep, and that calm turns into cold. Deep blue in large doses can make a room feel emotionally distant. Think of a room with navy walls, dark lighting, heavy furniture. It may look cozy, but after a while it begins to feel sealed off. Deep blue pulls energy inward. For introverts, this might seem comforting at first, but what starts as a retreat can turn into a rut. You lose the desire to go out, to invite people in, to speak up. Communication slows, momentum fades, and eventually your home stops encouraging forward motion and starts protecting stillness, so much that you forget what movement even feels like. This isn't about color theory, it's about emotional temperature. If bright red is the boil, deep blue is the freeze. Both can distort your internal rhythm. Both make it harder to hear your own needs clearly. In homes filled with deep blue, people often describe a quiet sadness they can't explain. Not depression necessarily, but a dulled sense of joy. Hobbies are left untouched. Texts go unanswered. Days blur. It's not dramatic, it's just distant. Blue doesn't attack, it recedes. But when life energy stops reaching out, nothing new can come in. And without newness, fresh ideas, new relationships, opportunities, life gets small even if the square footage doesn't. You see colors that hold too much heat, whether emotional fire or emotional cold, disrupt our natural balance. They create tension in the nervous system even when everything else seems fine. They make conversations harder. They make rooms less breathable. They don't invite pause, they demand reaction. And if your home has started to feel like a place where everyone's nerves are a little too raw, it might not be your routines. It might be your palate. This is especially true if you live with family. Children are sensitive to environmental energy in a way adults often forget. A child who used to be calm but suddenly becomes quick to cry or shut down might not need discipline. They might need a softer room. Couples who keep finding themselves on edge in a space filled with strong reds or cool, moody blues might not be arguing more as much as they're being energetically overstimulated or disconnected. Homes are relational. They either soften the edges between people or sharpen them. What makes these colors tricky is that they're often associated with sophistication. Red is bold, deep blue is elegant, and in photos they look amazing. But you don't live in photos. You live in movement, in moods, in quiet mornings and noisy evenings, and trying to get through your to-do list without losing your center. You live in small conversations, shared meals, and unspoken tension. The color on your walls doesn't need to impress. It needs to hold space, for rest, for peace, for togetherness. This doesn't mean you have to paint your house beige. It means being intentional. If you love red, let it show up in ways that energize without overwhelming, maybe in art, in warm-toned cushions, in a single accent wall near a sunny window. If you love blue, balance it with light wood, open spaces, and soft lighting that keeps it from going too cold. Let red be a spark, not a wildfire. Let blue be an anchor, not a weight. Think of your home like a body. Each room has a heartbeat. When the energy gets too hot, things inflame, tempers, stress, tension. When it gets too cold, things freeze, communication, creativity, intimacy. Your goal isn't to avoid all intensity. It's to bring in warmth that soothes, not scorches. Coolness that refreshes, not numbs. In the end, your home should help you regulate, not react. It should help you rest, not brace. When color is used wisely, it becomes invisible support. It works in the background, quietly restoring the nervous system, helping your thoughts settle, your emotions soften, and your actions align with what matters most. You won't notice that change all at once, but one day you'll wake up and feel it, like a breath you didn't know you were holding, finally let go. Part 3: colors that lock you in place. Some homes don't feel heavy, they don't feel loud, they just feel still. At first, that might sound like a good thing. Stillness can mean calm, right? But there's a different kind of stillness, one that doesn't bring peace, only pause. A kind of stillness where the days blur together, where nothing feels urgent, but nothing feels exciting either. You get through your to-do list, but you don't feel connected to any of it. You talk to your family, but the conversations feel rehearsed. You make plans, but they don't lead anywhere. That's not rest, that's being stuck. And sometimes it's not your mindset or your circumstances, it's your walls quietly telling you to stay exactly where you are, doing exactly what you've always done. Dark green is a color that often gets misunderstood. Green is growth, right? Nature, renewal. But the wrong green, specifically those deep forest-like shades, can do the opposite. It's not the color of new leaves, it's the color of old bark. Strong, yes, grounded, sure, but also unmoving. When used heavily in a space, dark green can create a sense of stillness that feels like being boxed in. It wraps around a room like dense woods with no clear path forward. You feel safe, but also contained, rooted, but not reaching. It's a subtle shift that can have major effects over time. People who live in dark green spaces often report feeling unmotivated, uninspired, resistant to change. Not because they are lazy, but because the energy in the space has grown stagnant, quietly encouraging them to stay the same even when part of them wants to grow. Then there's dark brown, earthy, timeless, often used to create a sense of warmth and stability, but like with anything, too much grounding becomes weight. Dark brown, especially when paired with heavy furniture, thick curtains, and dim lighting, can start to feel suffocating. Imagine a room where the walls are brown, the floors are brown, the furniture is dark, and the light gets swallowed before it touches anything. That's not warmth. That's stillness that borders on stuckness. You may sit down to relax, but find yourself too tired to get up again. You may think deeply, but struggle to take action. You may love your routines, but forget when you last felt a spark of curiosity or surprise. This isn't about whether a color is bad. It's about what happens when it becomes dominant, when it overwhelms instead of supports. Dark greens and browns tell your nervous system to settle. But when those messages go unchecked, they stop being helpful and start becoming a form of internal resistance. You don't try new things, not because you're afraid, but because the energy in your home doesn't invite it. You delay changes, not out of laziness, but because your space doesn't encourage momentum. You feel drained, not because your schedule is too full, but because the air around you is too still to stir your inner fire. If you've ever felt like you're living on autopilot, like your life has structure but no color, like your home is perfectly fine but somehow lifeless, this may be why. You're not broken, you're just uninvited. The energy in your space isn't pushing you forward. And over time, that lack of movement begins to feel normal. You stop asking big questions. You stop chasing new ideas. You start calling your quiet dissatisfaction just life. And slowly, the space around you becomes not a place you grow in, but a place you disappear inside. This pattern is even more dangerous when paired with the American lifestyle of stay busy, stay stable. We're taught to crave consistency, but not necessarily aliveness, to maintain what works, even if it doesn't feed the soul. So we create homes that are functional but uninspiring, comfortable but overly familiar, safe but flat. And then we wonder why we don't feel like ourselves anymore, why joy feels distant, why we've stopped dreaming the way we used to. Sometimes it's not because we lost passion, it's because our homes, our everyday environments, have stopped reflecting who we want to become. Dark greens and browns are often seen as mature, dependable, grounded. But used in the wrong way or the wrong proportion, they send a different message. Stay where you are, don't move, don't change, don't reach. And if you live inside that message long enough, it becomes your internal voice. Why bother? This is good enough. Maybe later. And those are the thoughts that kill momentum, not through fear, but through gentle, quiet disconnection. But here's the good news. This isn't permanent. Color is one of the easiest things to change in your home. You don't have to throw everything out. You don't have to repaint every room. You just have to notice. Which room feels like it's holding you back? Which walls feel like they're echoing a version of you that no longer fits? Which spaces used to feel alive, but now feel asleep? The shift doesn't have to be dramatic. It just has to be intentional. You can balance dark green with fresh, spring-like greens, colors that remind your brain of movement, not stillness. Add light. Add plants that grow quickly and visibly. Add wood that's not heavy oak but lighter breathing textures. You can keep brown where it serves you, floors, bookshelves, smaller pieces, but soften it with ivory, warm neutrals, natural fabrics, and open windows. Let the space speak possibility again. Let your home say, you can still grow. Because no matter your age, your stage in life, or your story so far, stagnation is not where you're meant to stay. You are allowed to outgrow your own environment. You're allowed to repaint a space that no longer feels like it's feeding your energy. You're allowed to say, this was right for me once, but I've changed, and I want my space to reflect that. In the end, homes are not meant to be museums. They're meant to evolve with you, to hold your quiet moments, but also your breakthroughs, to offer comfort, but also spark courage. And when you find the courage to shift even just one wall, one corner, one forgotten space, you might be surprised at how much more alive your days begin to feel. By now you've seen how something as simple as paint, something we often choose in a rush based on trends or convenience, can shape the atmosphere we live in every single day. Color isn't just aesthetic, it's energetic. It affects how we sleep, how we focus, how we connect with the people we love, and yes, even how we attract or block opportunities. And that doesn't require superstition or belief in anything mystical. It's biology, it's psychology, it's how light interacts with your nervous system. It's how your environment either helps you expand or quietly keeps you the same. What we explored today wasn't about blame, it was about awareness. Maybe some of the colors you love showed up on these lists. That's okay. It doesn't mean you've made bad choices. It just means you now have the knowledge to adjust, rebalance, and realign. Your home isn't just where you sleep, it's where your thoughts echo. It's where your energy gets filtered, either softened or sharpened. And with just a few small intentional changes, switching out one wall color, letting in more light, adding warmth where it feels cold, you begin to shift not just your surroundings, but the way you move through your life. And if you've been feeling stuck or overwhelmed or quietly uninspired, please know this: it's not all in your head. Sometimes the invisible weight isn't emotional, but environmental. And you are not alone in that. So many of us have walked through seasons where we kept pushing forward without realizing our space wasn't pushing with us. The moment you begin to notice that, really notice it, is the moment things start to change. Thank you for sharing this time with me. It takes a certain kind of courage to look at your home not just as shelter, but as a mirror, as a partner in your healing. I hope this video gave you something deeper than tips. Maybe a little clarity, a little inspiration, and maybe even a quiet permission to change what no longer fits. From my home to yours, I'm sending warmth, light, and the gentle reminder that you deserve to live in a space that reflects the future you're building, not the past you've outgrown. Be well, stay open, and I'll see you in the next video.